Hello, and how are you going? This is Anna speaking from Digi Marketing Solutions. So today I'm just going to go through a quick tutorial video on how to create some content using AI and Canva. So as you can see here, I have a paid version of Canva. If you have had your Canva account for a while, then you've probably exceeded the 30-day free period. So you may have to pay for it to get some of the features that we're going to be using today. If you haven't got a Canva, then basically you can just sign up for a free account and you get 30 days free to use a lot of the tools prior to actually getting on a paid subscription. So here we have the home page. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go to Docs here. And what I'm after is I'm after this magic right. So it's on Docs, hit that. Yes, we want to do this. Now this is where we get the AI to create our content. So you have to know for your social media, this is like quotes. You will see many accounts where they'll actually have a quote pop up maybe once or twice a week. Or they might have some word of advice. If you're looking at a religious organization, you might see a scripture come up. You might have some hints, tips, or hacks. So this is where we are going to create that and use AI to do that. So, for example, I may put down, I need, and I'm just going to do a small amount so it's quick. The larger the amount that you request, the longer it's going to take. And you also have to double check because sometimes it will duplicate it more than once. So this is, I need 5 inspiring quotes that promote, say, a good... And this could be anything, but just make sure that you tell it how many, the topic that you want it on. I always use quotes because they will usually put an author to that quote. So I need 5 inspiring quotes that promote good mental health and how to stay positive. Okay. And there you go. We have 5 there. Your present circumstances don't determine where you can go. They merely determine where you start. Okay. So if you look at these, you want to just make sure that they are correct. There's no spelling mistakes. Don't post things that you haven't checked onto your social media. Okay, always check it, make sure it is accurate. So for the sake of this exercise, I'm going to assume that everything's all good and fine. Then I need to go back here. I've still got those there. I'm going to now look at creating, now I prefer the reel size, so the Instagram reel size, which I think is 1080 by 1920. There we go. And I think the video TikTok. Now the reason I use these 2 sizes, either one will do. It's mainly because, let me just clear that out of the way. Okay, anyway. Now the main reason I use this size is because it fills the whole screen. Remembering that most people will look at your content on their mobile phones. So you want to make sure that it fills the entire screen so that the person isn't distracted by the post prior or the one below, like when you are just scrolling through your feed. So this ensures that it fills the whole screen. So I'm just going to go with an Instagram reel, create a blank, and this is where you will decide. Now, each one of these inspiring quotes is basically going to be the same picture all along, because it kind of creates like, this is a feature that you regularly show on your social media. So I'm going to look at probably something to do with summer because it's so cold at the moment. And I like the looks of this one. Okay, so now you've got that, you need to give this is a moving one in the back. You can get stills as well. So when you're actually looking for a graphic in the background, all these ones are videos. Now, when you actually go to create a real template, it will always give you a video, unless you actually request for a still. So what I'm going to do is, you need to give this a name. So it could be like, say for example, we'll call it Daily Dose. Now, do something that is consistent with your own branding. Okay, that includes the fonts that you use, the color schemes that you use. Try and make it consistent with your branding. So let's just pull this up here. I'm going to actually pull it above that, Daily Dose. And then what I also always do is I'm just going to create another text box, body of text that's going to be in the middle. We're going to leave that there, and then we're going to create another subheading, and we're going to put this down the bottom under here. The reason I'm doing that is because you should be branding all your content so that everyone knows it's yours, which is why it's important to make sure that you're using the same color schemes and the same fonts. They need to be consistent with your brand, okay, so you don't confuse people. I am just going to have this kind of, that one will do. And what I normally do is I normally put my handle in there. So I put it DMS. I'm just going to put that as an example. And it's looking a little bit small, so I'm probably going to take it up to about there we go, so it's legible. And then what we're going to do is we're going to go back to those lovely 5 inspiring quotes that we've had. We are going to copy them. You can use this. I always use shortcuts. Then we're going to go back to our Daily Dose. And over here in the corner is our apps. So you need to click on the apps, and then you need to look for Bulk Create. As you can see, I use it quite often, so it's down the side there. So you just hit the Bulk Create, right? We want to enter that data manually, okay? So clear this table, give this a name. So we're calling our, we're calling it Daily Dose. And then we're going to paste our 5 quotes in there and then press done. Once you've done that, this is where we want those quotes to appear right in the middle. So understand that sometimes, because of the way that depending on how large the quote is, it's going to take up more space. So you might have to rearrange it and slightly tweak it a bit. Then we click these 3 dots for more. We connect the data, and we want to connect it to what we've saved over there, the data field, which is the Daily Dose. Now we're going to press continue, and there's our 5 quotes, and if we're happy with that, then we generate the 5 pages. Okay, there we go. Now as you can see here, we just want to make sure that it's centered in the middle, okay? And I always try and make it so that the author is given his own line there. And then make sure that it's centered. See these lines there? They ensure that that is centered in that direction, horizontally, and then we want to center it vertically. Now, if you're happy with that, just go through quickly and do it with the others. I'm just going to pause that while I do that. Okay, so now I have completed all of my 5 slides. If we look them in grid view, we can see that they're nicely centered. I'm quite happy with it. Now, once you actually are happy with what you've got there, you can add music, but I would actually wait till you get to your social media. Unless you were using a social media management tool, you can either add audio here, which if you look on there, there is an audio function. This is all free music, so you can add this to it. If you like that sound, then just drag it down here. Okay, so if I'm happy with that and I want that sound track in there, then I make sure I download that, and make sure you hit this one here, download pages as separate files. So once we do that, we download that. Now these will download to your computer and you can post them, but I will go into other methods of doing that. But basically, your content's made. I hope that's helpful.